Welcome to the theme park rundown. It is part 3, the final part of our family frill look.
Yeah.
Is that the best way of putting it? In the first one, we looked at sort of European American parks and, the family frill market. We then switched to the UK to have a look at the family frill market. And what I'm basically saying is that moving forward, we are going to have mainly family frill rides. Not frill rides and not family rides. Family frill rides. You'll have a few kids rides, like the little drift ride at Paw Patrol. You'll have that.
Yeah.
But you will have family frill rides as the new way forward.
Yeah.
Now, we want to have a look in this one is the theme what makes the roller coaster now? And we say that because I can think of a really good family frill ride in this country. It's probably got one of the best themes.
Yeah.
And then we're going to see whether or not realistically, would any of our coasters, maybe rides, work anywhere else in the world
Yeah.
with the theme.
Yeah.
Because, I could think of, you plop Guardians of the Galaxy at Thorpe Park, happy days.
Yes,
Obviously. If you plop Hyperia at Disney, or Universal.
At Universal, it's not going to work.
Well, so, is it not going to work because, ignore the length and the fact it's only got 2, just ignore that. Is it not going to work because of the theme? What theme could they add to that to make that work? Could they add?
Well, the thing is, it could still be themed to goddesses, but actually themed.
Okay, I'm saying it's a bit harsh.
Well, no, it's like grass underneath.
It's grass, yeah. Yeah.
But like, with a really strong theme to goddesses and that kind of thing, a little bit longer freight trains.
Yeah.
Yes, it could work.
Okay.
A lot of things can work, but the theme plays a big part.
So we took a frill one then, actually. That was probably a bad example because I'd argue Guardians of the Galaxy is a family frill ride and it's the top end of a family frill ride.
Yeah, definitely.
So what one would we compare it with? I'll tell you what, the one I've been thinking of
Wicker Man.
is Wicker Man, yeah. Arguably, at the moment, our best family frill ride in this country. With theme.
So.
With theme. So would Wicker Man work? It's difficult in America, isn't it? Because you can't really pick a Six Flags park because they're not really greatly themed. So I guess you'd have to maybe use Dollywood or something that's got a quite good theme.
Yeah.
Not complete. It's probably more in line with what we are.
Park, though. I would like to go.
But would Wicker Man work at Dollywood?
Yeah.
You think it would?
I think it would.
Would Wicker Man work at Efteling?
Yeah.
You think it would? Okay.
Yeah, they might do a bit more theming around the queue line kind of thing. But
You just got to pick it up and pop it somewhere.
I still think it would.
Okay. Would it work at Europa Park?
Well, they want mostly Mack rides, but yeah, it probably would.
Now, I can tell you it would work at Plopsland. We've been there. I think it would work really well
It
at
looks better than
Plopsland.
Heidi.
I think it does look better than Heidi.
Yeah.
So the question is then, what does the future look like? This is what we want to look. This is what I'm trying to look at.
Yeah.
Is that I think the future is family frill and theming.
And we have been getting more family frill.
Yes.
In recent time.
Yeah. Even converting things like the wave. I'd argue it's a family frill ride now, where perhaps there's a stand-up even it was still a frill ride then.
And then we have Mandrill family frill.
Absolutely.
We're getting a new family frill coaster
With
next year.
the theme,
Yeah.
and then with the theme again next year.
Yeah.
Take the Jumanji theme away, and I know people will say it's a little bit loose and some people don't like it. It doesn't matter. I mean, I'm not a massive Jumanji fan, but that statue's stunning.
You couldn't put that in the car park.
Couldn't put that in a car park.
It wouldn't work.
It would just look crap.
Yes. And obviously the same with an intimate dimensional like we're going to get for Minecraft. It's
Exactly.
a family frill. It needs the theme to carry it.
Exactly.
But that will make it a great ride.
So is this the way forward now? Now, we know some European parks are still installing big frill rides.
Yeah.
And
of course, we still want big frill rides.
We do.
Like Hyperia,
Yeah.
we wanted that.
Yeah, we did.
we want that.
Yeah.
And I still want them to get another big family frill ride on the Rumba site.
Well, you want to go a family frill ride or a frill ride?
Frill ride.
Right. Make mine up.
Sorry, frill ride.
Right.
I want a big frill ride because it suits the park. There are some parks which suit a frill coaster.
Okay.
And if they stopped making frill coasters across the world, there would be parks I stopped visiting.
Yeah. I don't think they'd stop making
as
them.
much.
I just think we've spoken in our last one about opening day operations.
Yeah.
And we were kind of like, what can they, what's driving people to the park?
Yeah.
If Drayton stick in and a massive thrill coaster instead of Gold Rush, does it work better for them?
It would have paid off more.
You think?
Yes.
I don't think it would. You look at the rides at Drayton,
Yeah.
and most of them are all under. I think they're all under 1.4, aren't they?
I think it depends how unique it is as well.
Well, I mean, you've got to look at the space. You'd have to have a multi-launch, maybe even a Gerstlauer Eurofighter, dare I say.
Yeah.
More of a SAW style one.
But it depends, because if they just put a Eurofighter there, I know Portland's having a really good one, but if they just put a Eurofighter there, yes, it may not have done better than Goldbrush. Admittedly, Goldbrush probably would have done better. But if they put a compact Vekoma tilt there, that does better.
Okay.
And that would be a thrill coaster. They could have that with 2 or 3 inversions, quite a bit of speed.
Generally, people say they're not thrill coasters.
I don't know how you could say it's not a thrill coaster with that tilt and potentially a couple of other inversions after quite a bit of pace to it.
Probably the same way you'd say like Gringotts isn't with the tilt. Because it's the same feeling.
It's not the same. But
yeah, it's sort of the same feeling.
But that's 20 or 30 foot to 120 or 30 foot.
Yeah.
But either way,
and I mean, they're not going to build anything.
Either way,
over
that would
100
be a lot more thrilling.
Yeah.
And would that have got more people through the door? Yeah, it certainly would have.
So a tilt coaster might have done.
So that's the thing. I think if you get a thrill coaster that's really unique, it is going to do better.
So it's got to be a unique one.
Yeah.
So if they opened, I don't know.
If they put a clone to Nemesis Inferno there, for instance.
Yeah.
Which is a thrill coaster.
Yeah.
But nothing unique about it. It's quite. They got a lot of those out there. It wouldn't have done any better really than Goldbrush.
Okay.
But yeah, again, if they put something really unique there, like a first of its type, something like that.
Well, they did.
but.
I mean, I'd argue the marketing of that wasn't right.
No.
There should have been far more of a song and dance about what that ride did.
Yeah.
But I think it's a great ride.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably the way forward. You just said we've had Mandrill, we've had Goldbrush, we've had Hyperia sandwiched in the middle.
Yeah.
We've got Speed Racer, Family Thrill, arguably. We're going to have the Minecraft coaster, Family Thrill.
Probably going to get, we're going to get another coaster at Legoland, which will
gonna
probably
get
be Family Thrill.
You'd argue that...
More family, potentially.
Yeah, I think that's going to be Family Thrill.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be Family Thrill. I'd argue the Speedway is. I don't think that's kids' ride. We're going to get Draken, of course.
Yeah. Which we've debated whether that's Family Thrill or more Thrill.
I think it's Family Thrill.
Yeah.
But borderline. This is
But then at the same time, as part of this question, are we just classing more thrill rides as family free now? Because the height restrictions are coming down, the kids are becoming more daring.
Well, this is it.
So are we adapting?
Are we going from Bluey to Draken?
Yeah.
Or is that Storm Chaser Flight the Pterosaur that Portons have
I think
a happy medium that a lot of parks actually don't have?
I think it's a mix, because you see some people whose kids really need the extra step, like Bluey to Runaway Mine Train, to Wicker Man to Nemesis. Like, you've got a few steps in there. And you've got some kids that will go on, say, the Paw Patrol coaster, and then will be happy, then go on Oblivion. I mean, there's going to be kids that jump very quickly, and there's going to be some which need...
So I think a lot of parks have the step up.
Some have that in between coaster.
So Chessington will have Paw Patrol with the step up to Vampire.
Yeah.
With the step up to Mandrill, with the step up
to
Fury. I mean, they're all the level. I'm not sure it's a step up to Rattlesnake, but technically on the height restriction it is. Yeah.
But there is a bit of a step.
Don't have that.
No, you're literally going Flying Fish to Hyperia.
Well, you're not. You're going Fly Fish to Walking Dead, but the theme maybe takes it away.
Well, Hyperia's got a low height restriction.
It shouldn't have, but yes, it has.
Yeah.
But in terms of coaster riding, you're then to Hyperia. Towers is Bluey to Runaway Mine Train to Wicker Man. It's quite a good step. I'd still think they're missing...
To Wicker Man, and then maybe even 13.
13, yeah.
And then, you can go on Galactica, which is still much more easygoing than Nemesis.
Yeah.
Like, you've got quite a few...
And then Legoland need that next step.
Yeah.
Their next step was... I don't know, we can call Dino Coaster. It was Dragon's Apprentice to Dragon.
It kind of goes now. Dino Coaster, Dragon's Apprentice, Dragon, Speedway,
and
then hopefully the next one.
It needs that next step, which Portons and Chessington have both installed.
Yeah.
But all we're talking about here is family thrill rides.
Yeah. But at the same time, as I said, when we're saying is family thrill the way forward, are some of these coasters, like Drakon, would we have classed that as a thrill coaster 10 years ago?
Well...
And nowadays we're saying it's family thrill because the height restriction's a little bit lower on a lot of these rides, even like Hyperion. Now it's 1.3 still 1.4. Height restrictions coming lower, kids are becoming more daring. Are we adapting to them as well?
Well, I mean, interestingly, because we've said for a long time that kids are becoming more daring.
Yeah.
And I know this from bringing up, obviously, yourself and Cody, is that I've been saying from sort of 8 or 9, you're like, I want to go on this big... you're waiting to get to 1.4 to go on the big rides.
Yeah.
Whereas we're like, this Bluey coasters, well, maybe not Bluey as such, but there was a few coasters that have been marketed for 8-year-olds. It's like, no.
Yeah.
They're not.
Yeah.
Whereas the family thrill market is like, well, actually, we're not going to put an age limit on this. Storm Chaser, Flight of Pterosaur, Gold Rush, Mandrill.
Yeah.
Isn't like, it's just based on height restrictions.
Yeah.
Where beforehand, you were very much like, I want to get to that height.
Yeah.
That's all you and Cody were waiting for. Every kid you know is padding their shoes, putting heelys on, standing on their tiptoes to get on the bigger rides.
Told to eat their vegetables.
Some of them are only like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And we're saying, here's a Bluey coaster for you, or get yourself on a runaway mine train, that's your step up. And it's like, well, actually, Bluey should be 4 to 5, maybe.
Yeah.
We'll get the cred. 4 to 5. Runaway mine train the same. 6. And then, by the time you hit 7 or 8, you should be a Wicker Man.
Yeah.
Arguably.
Yeah.
13.
But then there are 5-6-year-olds small enough to go on Wicker Man.
Yeah, absolutely.
There are.
And they it's always the same, to be fair. They're not massive. It does help you.
I know 6-year-olds that have been on Mandrill and Fury.
Yeah, exactly.
And loved it.
Yeah, exactly. If you're not like a massive enthusiast, your kids might not be so much like, I want to go on that. They might have to be dragged on it first and then gone, my God, I want to get back on, which always happens, generally always happens.
Yeah.
So again, it begs the question is if you open a kids ride, you're just appealing to young families.
Yeah.
You open a family thrill ride, you're appealing to everyone.
Yeah.
And if you open a thrill ride,
you're only appealing to thrill.
you're only feeling the thrill.
But if you're family thrill, you can kind of appeal to.
Because I think people go to Chessington. There are teenagers at Chessington, there's adults at Chessington. They're quite happy to get on Mandrill, Dragon's Fury, Vampire, and go, I've had a good day.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong, there are going to be people that will go to Foot Park and go, Stealth Hyperion Swarm, I had a good day.
Yeah.
I get that. But it just feels like the way forward is to just push the boundaries a little bit
the only
more.
thing is if parks get too many family thrill and not any either side, there will be some people that go, well, my kid's not tall enough for that yet. And they're finding it boring not getting a bigger coaster.
I was putting an RMC next to this.
Right, Cody's just walked in. You can probably hear in the background. Come back, Cod. Come back up. Put your bag down, then come back. So oddly enough, Cody is here.
Yes.
He might just step into shot slightly, shortly. Or at least into earshot.
Yeah.
And the first thing I said to him, he's like, what are you recording? And I said, we're looking at family thrills and thrill rides. I said, what do you think more parks are going to put more in on? And he's gone straight in with thrill rides. They're going to put more thrill rides in with no real explanation of how they're going to put thrill rides in. So come on, Cody.
Depends who we're on about.
Well, everyone.
What park?
Everyone in the UK.
Everyone.
What are we
going
going to see? What are we going to see more of going
You're
forward?
going to see more family thrill than
Right.
thrill. Yes.
You're going to see more family thrill.
You are going to see.
Why?
Why? It's because it's the audience, isn't it? They're easier to theme as well.
It's like he was here all along. It's like he was here all along, Kurt.
Yeah.
So Cody's only just walked in from work, bless him. That's why we had a quick pause there while we answered the door. So what we've been discussing, Cody, for your benefit, over the last couple of episodes, I'm sure you've listened to the first one. Useless. Is we were looking at abroad first, and family thrill and thrill rides. And they probably go a little bit more thrill ride, I'd argue, potentially. And then we looked at the UK, of family thrill rides and thrill rides. And then we're looking to see what we think people will do more going forward, especially with Universal opening, because we think Universal will only have one thrill ride and then family thrill rides. Generally.
Depends if you can include flats as well, because we are just talking about coasters.
Well, we
can
are.
have thrill rides as well.
Well, we are.
To make up for.
Yeah. So give me a flat thrill ride that's opened this year.
I know.
Not yet. We've got one.
Not yet. Well, we're going to have Evictus.
We're going to have
But I
Evictus.
mean, like, when you say Universal, they might only have one thrill coaster.
I guess they'll
but when
call-
they have the clone of Doctor Doom.
they'll class that as
like
a thrill ride, But I mean, that is a whole new park, so it's going to be a bit difficult for them not to put in
a bit of everything.
a bit of everything, But in terms of park we got, Cody's just nailed it, I think, is themed. So how well, actually, do we think Evictus is going to be themed? Now, I know the structure looks nice, little snake on the top looks nice, but how well do you think it's going to be themed? That's not a theme, I'm sorry.
Not like immensely.
Not immensely. Why?
It's not what Blackpool do.
You don't think? With Alice, Ghost
Well,
Train?
they theme the ride, but they're never like an area, so it doesn't
Austin
quite
Gromit.
bring it all in, does it?
Well, no, I mean, the ride doesn't link to anything around.
Yeah.
But why would they not theme it when they've got themed rides there? They'll argue Icon's themed, I'll argue it's not.
But all their themed rides are indoors, apart from Nickelodeon.
Generally.
Apart
But
from
do you think it's going to have a Draken-style entrance to it? I mean, you've seen Draken's entrance.
No.
If you haven't, you need to go check it out.
No.
Do you think Invictus is going to have that?
No.
Why?
Well, some of it cost. Portland's got more money than Blackpool.
Worryingly, yes, they probably have.
But they're more profitable than Blackpool, I
Okay,
would
yeah,
argue.
that's probably a better way of looking
And
at
they
it.
probably spend their money better, perhaps.
Whoa.
Well, look what Portland's are getting for what?
The same price as Invictus?
Yes.
The whole of that area?
Yeah.
Are you saying it wasn't a good idea to get Invictus?
I'm not saying it wasn't a good idea, because that is the kind of thing that's going to drag people up there. And they also don't have the room for that area.
So the big question is, I know people will argue that Portland's is expensive, we've gone through this loads. Blackpool will still be around about £40 during the summer period, with £500 parking next door.
Yes.
So
And quite a few ride closures.
what, take your enthusiast head off here, what's going to do better?
And Portland's will have a better summer.
Valgard or Victus?
Oh, Vanguard will do better.
Based on...
Based on the fact it's a whole area as well.
Yeah.
It's gonna drag people in. That feasting hall is gonna make more money than Blackpool will on the extra tickets for Invictus this year.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
I think that's fair.
The theme.
Yeah, the theme.
theme.
It looks immense.
It looks incredible.
And Invictus, yes, is going to be incredible.
It is going to be an incredible ride, don't get me wrong. I can't wait to ride it.
Yeah.
Absolutely can't wait to ride it. All right, Cody, chip in. What did you think?
What will do better this year?
This is like a special guest.
Invictus or Round with the Vikings, Valgard?
Valgard will do far better.
Far better. Wow, Cody's
Far
going right in there with the far
Yeah.
better. So this comes down to, again, the original question is theme going to be the deciding factor for our rides going forward on how successful they are?
It have to be. If they're aiming to compete with Universal, it has to be theming.
He's good at this. We need to get a third chair in here, don't we? Yeah,
Well, he's
prop
got
yourself
a very short chair now.
Yeah, I can't get no microphone. We're going to have to share a microphone. But my God. But he's right. And this is what I'm saying all along, is I don't think we are... Realistically, when do we think we're going to get another Frill roller coaster? Ignoring the rumours we've heard,
3 or 4 years at Thorpe.
I think it's going to be Thorpe next, isn't it? And it's going to be 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
When do we think we're going to get... Ignoring...
And then after that, it'll be 2 years later in Universal.
Well, ignoring Draken,
Yeah.
which we know is opening, when do we think we're going to get the new family Thrill coaster?
Next year at Chessington.
And then after then? Following year at Legoland.
Following year at Legoland.
And then what about...
And then I think it might be either another one potentially at Chessington.
Yep.
Because I still think it's
So
possible.
do we think Cree might finally get one?
There are rumours, aren't there?
Yeah, there are rumours. Do we think Southport might finally get one? Do we think Lightwater Valley might install something a bit more permanent?
Yeah, they might.
You know, it's a spinning coaster going to Pleasurewood Hills, classed as a family thrill coaster. I guess it is. Is it going to be permanent? Is it going to be well themed?
Yeah.
You know, what's the answer here? What is the answer? And I know people will be screaming at this podcast or looking at us on the telly screaming, going, thrill rides, we want thrill rides. It doesn't matter what we want. I mean, I'd rather ride Velocicoaster and Iron Gwazi every day of the week and ride to Happiness and, you know, Nemesis Reborn and Hyperia. I'd happily sit in a park with all of those.
Yeah.
But, you know, Thorpe Park make the least money out of the Merlin parks.
Yes. And less than Warwick Castle.
And less than Warwick Castle, because the audience they attract isn't the money audience.
No.
So where's
Although I do always see people spending money on the games and on the food.
Yeah,
But I think the money that they earn from the KFC and McDonald's,
that's
KFC and Burger King, is not as much as they would if it was
that's another problem. Why haven't they ripped that out yet? I know why they haven't ripped it out, because again, it's a demograph.
Yeah.
You know, their demograph want high street
And
food.
they've got stuck in that demograph now.
Well,
so
it's
they're-
just silly, yeah. But
But yeah, again, they'll still have a good year.
they'll have a good year.
Friday
Yeah, don't
nights
get me
and that
wrong.
always makes it.
Yeah,
for-
exactly. They'll have a good year. But I don't know. Theme. So
They
how
have to
many
be
how many
practical.
rides from this country? Because I mean, we think about it's probably not good actually to pick sort of Universal and Disney, is it? But
Probably
probably some
not.
themed rides around the world. Why have you just picked that? Think of some theme rides around the world that you would plop and go, that's incredible. What rides have we seen that's incredibly themed?
Excluding Universal and Disney.
Excluding Universal and Disney. Because I don't think any of our parks, however much everyone's like, well, they'll do better because Universal are coming. They're never going to do Universal and Disney, are they?
Yeah. God, there's not that many that are...
That we've seen.
There's not many that we've seen that are incredible outside of Universal and Disney.
But there are some, aren't there?
Yeah.
I mean, I think Baron is probably
yeah,
quite...
we've not been to Efteling or Europa Park.
No.
So there's probably a couple that we're
I think
missing there.
Voltron probably is.
Yeah.
That's a nice village. Fly.
Yeah.
Taron.
Yeah, fantastic.
Black Mamba.
Yeah.
Which would sit here. Would any of our rides realistically fit in Phantasialand? Maybe Valgard?
Yeah,
I've had a few comments actually saying that it's Phantasialand style theming, Paulson's Park.
Yeah. Again, I think Wicker Man would work in a lot of places.
I think Wicker Man would work in a lot of places, yeah.
And Nemesis, but yeah, again, it has to have that pit to go with it.
So who do we think, realistically, from a non-IP point of view, is going to follow Paulson's Park in this theming route?
What, in terms of...
Theming rides, probably.
It's not IP.
Theming rides...
Because we know Paw Patrol's going to look good. It looks good. We've all seen Paw Patrol.
Yeah.
So we know it looks good. And we know Minecraft is going to look good. We don't think that's going to be cheap.
No.
If it is, everyone in the world's going to be disappointed. So that's Merlin can't
mess
skip.
it up. They can't.
They can't.
I don't think they will.
They
either.
can't do a budget cut on that. You know, that is worldwide stuff. But Paultons aren't using IPs apart from Peppa Pig World, which again looks stunning.
No.
But, you know, Lost Kingdom isn't, Crick Creek isn't, Tornado Springs isn't, Valgard isn't. Who's going to take the next plunge to go, well, this is what Paultons have done, and they've done that for 10 mil.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money. I get it's a lot of money.
But that is less than what Merlin are spending on areas and things.
It is.
And rides.
Yeah.
And other parks.
Would any of those rides work at Merlin Park? No.
No, probably not.
No, none of those would have the capacity apart from Ghostly Manor, I think. But who could do that? Because I think Drayton has tried to do it.
But they spent too much on the coaster that they didn't have as much money left for theming as they wanted, I think.
Probably, yeah. Probably,
But that's kind of what you get going into Minova Gerstlauer, I suppose.
Do you think we'll see Mellors do it with Lightwater Valley?
Well, I hope so. They have that money.
Well, this is it. They do.
They have that 10 million to put into there.
Do you think they could open
If they
it?
open an area as good as as Valgard, sorry. But the other thing is, it's not just, we want this. It's knowing the teams and getting the teams and having the planning to bring that all together.
Well, it is, yeah. It's a combination.
I mean, you can hire people to do all of that for you, but...
Because for me,
still doing it.
in this country, it's only going to... It's going to be Creeley, Drayton, Pleasurewood Hills, or Lightwater Valley that are going to do it. Don't see Blackpool doing it. Don't. As you said, they're not.
I don't think
It probably wouldn't work there.
I don't think Creeley
I
has
don't
much
see
money.
Southport doing it. I don't see Adventure Island doing it. I don't see Fantasy Island again. It's just the wrong demographic.
Yeah.
But Creeley have gone for it a bit with Pirates Plummet.
I don't think they have 10 million to spare.
They probably don't have quite that much.
Pleasurewood Hills probably might have. But you've got to remember as well, it's not like, if it's a well-known company, they can also get loans. Obviously.
Yeah.
I think Pleasurewood Hills could do that. Mellors probably already have it.
Mellors probably do have it.
I'm sure they already have that easily.
I don't know again because we heard the
could
Brighton
do that.
Pier investment that Lightwater Valley was difficult, so I don't know whether it still is difficult. If for Lightwater Valley, that'd be the only thing. And Drayton kind of started it, and then I don't know.
They don't have a lot of space.
They don't have a lot of space, no. But again, whilst I like the areas they've done, I particularly like Adventure Cove. I think they did a really good job there.
Yeah. They still cut some
We were
costs
quite
with
praised. We were praising of the Viking area, but did say it looked a bit sparse in places.
Yeah.
And then Valgard comes along, you're like, oh, what happened?
And they probably spent not that much less.
They probably spent, I don't know actually, because
you know, there's
the two flat rides must have been $1 million each. I know they had to redevelop the land. The roller coaster's already there. Ponies can't cost a lot. They
but
haven't
the ponies
done
still
any
cost money.
buildings.
A new shell for the theming for the train.
Yeah.
All new groundworks. Still a lot of money went into it.
I don't. Yeah, probably did. I actually don't know.
And
if
they still
anyone
built
knows,
all those buildings.
Yeah, if
and
anyone
stuff.
knows how much that project cost.
We can find out.
All right, Kurt's on it.
What's the area called?
Yes. What's the area called, Cody? Cody's put his hands in the air. That's a good start. Kurt's going to find out what that area is called and get the reported cost on it. But yeah, I think that theme, I think Cody hit the nail on the head and we kind of looked at it, is that we're not going to get very many frill coasters. Fort Park is the next rumoured one. And I think the way forward is going to be family frill themed. It's going to be the only way that's going to drag people in. And yeah, we say so many good things about Portland.
Does not say, it just says completely unknown.
Yeah, they just seem to be. They seem to be streets ahead. It's so frustrating actually. That some of these parks aren't streets ahead with
It
with
just
good
seems to be
planning.
completely unknown.
I can't think it would have cost any more than 4 or 5 million to do that. And I'm all right with the ride choice actually because Loki and Four's a mega disco. They're all right.
Yeah.
Loki's like really good to watch, but you do just look at the area and think, oh, could we add a few more? Should we have spent another $500,000 on models and
Should
couple
they
of
have put a
beaming?
coaster in there instead of putting Gold Rush where it is?
No, I don't.
No.
No, I think that they needed those flat rides, and those flat rides probably helped them remove Apocalypse and Pandemonium, which were aging rides. In fairness, so I kind of get why they did it. I just wonder now whether they could have gone a little bit more with the theme. But I love Adventure Cove, and I love
it's
Thomas
still not
Land.
too late to do that.
No, Thomas Land, I think again stunning.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think? It's a bit short of this one. We finished off our free part. I think the way forward is going to be family frill and themed. Whether that's the right way forward for everyone, I don't know. But I think that is what is going to draw money.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people are going to do. What do you think? What do you think? That's the question now.
Yeah.
What do you think? Cody's on board. Kurt, you think frills?
No, I said more people are going to go family frills.
They're going to go more family.
But you still need a bit of everything.
You still need a bit of everything, yeah.
Yeah, including frills and family.
That's
Like,
correct.
fellas need it.
Don't need that, really.
No, you don't.
Family part.
But for most parks.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, right, that's our look into it. It's a bit short of that one.
Yeah.
I don't think there's many themed rides that we have that would work in some of Europeans' biggest parks. I don't really know enough about the American ones to do it. I think some of them would work in like Cedar Point. I think Hyperion would work at Cedar Point.
Yeah.
Again, they probably restructure the end. I think Stealth works in most places.
Yeah.
I think Swarm works in most places.
Too short.
Possibly too short. I think Wicker Man
Works in most places.
I think 13 would, free train operation.
Yeah.
I think Galactica works in a lot of places as well,
Yeah.
just as a ride.
Yeah.
But in terms of theme, yeah, hopefully we're turning a corner.
I think we are.
Hopefully we are turning a corner and we're going to see some better themed areas
I think we
that
are.
are looked after.
We're definitely starting to.
And this year we've got two probably of the best themed areas we've seen opening in the UK. So get out and enjoy them. Right, thanks for joining us on the Theme Park Rundown. That was part 3 of Family Thrill. You probably knew where we were going with it, in honesty. Because, you know, I think anyone can sit back and look and see where the industry's going. But Kurt's right. Yes, our expectations changed over the last 10 years. What was thrill rides now family rides?
Yeah.
You know,
Potentially.
do we class Swarm as a family ride? Right.
No,
family
but
thrill ride.
it could be a lower height restriction.
I think it, family thrill ride. Don't know. Right, leave your comments if you're on YouTube. Thank you for listening and joining us, and we will see you next week.